the first collaboration between She Writes HerStory and the Chunni Project.
We recognize that there is a huge need for this, so expect to have us host more events in the future.
Feminism, women's empowerment, misogyny, sexism, all of these terms mean something different to different people, and they recognize them in different ways. But I would argue, rather than dwelling on the meanings of these terms, it is more important to recognize women's lived experiences that truly delineate what these words mean.
The first time my grandma was given an iPhone, she held it in her hands and said, "Eh, kya?" I said, "Dadi Ma, this is an iPhone." So she continues to inspect it in her hands like a ripening mango and eventually decides that it tastes good. Turns out her favorite function was Siri. Probably because she sounds familiar. Growing up, I got used to hearing the women in my family repeat phrases like, "Sorry, I didn't get that." Or, "It's your opinion that counts." See, there's a reason why the Siri on an iPhone has a woman's voice. She only speaks when spoken to. And if you're not supposed to speak to strangers, and I only speak when spoken to, it's no wonder why getting up in front of a mic feels a lot like breaking through my mother's silence. Like the inanimate object in your back pocket finally stopped apologizing.
The women in my family spend their days in the kitchen fussing over burning stoves, stirring spices in their dal, making garam garam roti. And night after night, they serve their men on silver platters, anxiously watching their faces for approval. And my poor mother, whose life has revolved around the demands of those who have taken her sacrifices for granted, because the women in my family do not ask questions.
I have seen many women that are uncertain about the events that are happening in their life, and they will try to avoid them by overworking, having an affair, socializing, taking a vacation, or overspending.
You do what's right. I'm just stating my opinion. Don't be oblivious, all right? Wake up, my man. You got potential in your hands.
I suppose the idea of leaving is so much easier than the idea of staying and facing the cold, to disappear without a trace. What if I moved to Antarctica? Learn from the polar bears how to blend into my surroundings, learn to be there but not really be there.
Where are you from? Eyes still locked into his, I say my body was birthed upon stolen land, stripped, not ceded, people who live and breathe the earth you stand upon, ways you will never choose to understand.
Fist pounds against the table as he asks me again, "Where is your brother?" And I tell him again, I don't know where my brother is, but I know where my allegiance lies. I left it in a ditch where bodies are piled high. I left it in the arms of a mother who smiled when I told her I sought no justice from the system where I lost it.
They said my clothes were probably too revealing. Some asked, "Did you drink too much?" I tried to tell my mother, but she begged me to be quiet, because if anyone found out, my family would lose its honor. She said no one would marry their son to a non-virgin like me, and I said, "Mother, does that mean no one will marry my rapist as well?"
Hi Rajneet, I hope you're doing well. In regards to your next appointment, perhaps it would be best for you to come in a little earlier than scheduled. I received your results and it doesn't look the best.
I have suffered with depression, I suffer with anxiety, and if anybody suffers with mental health, please, I want to let you know it's okay, and mental health does matter. Pray in the dark for a better day to come my way. What's more to say, I live a nightmare in my waking days.
Why do other family members question when a girl has ambition, but she's single? Why do I have to wait until I'm married to pursue my dreams that are not related to school or my career?
She was married for less than 2 years when he abruptly left. He left her, but took everything. He took things. He took her jewelry, her money, her car, but those things could be replaced.
You know what? I am gonna start loving myself, and I don't care how I do it. It's gonna happen.
Herself again. When not too long ago, the essence of her being was that which was tied to the love of her partner and the weight of other people's expectations. But now her dreams and her aspirations are all her own. Her hopes tied to her own success, which she and she alone now will make it on her own.
Do you know for sure it's a boy? My mother asked. I know it will be a boy. I can feel it, Idu. I forced Preet to drink 3 glasses of milk a day since we found out. God will have mercy on my family. She paused for a moment and then added, I don't know what I'll do if it's a girl.
You're stronger. And together, our voices will change our world. You see a girl, we see the future.